Hello and welcome to Creativity Time with Julia Major. Here we cultivate artistic thinking. If that sounds fun, I hope you like and subscribe. Last video, we learned how you can make tacky glue prints and turn them into watercolor resists. This video, I'm going to show you a really cool technique for mixing the color in the print, including making it look marbleized like these. Let's get started. We'll take the cardboard stamp that we made in our last video, add our tacky glue to it, and while the glue is still wet is when we're going to add our watercolor embellishment. Try as best you can not to get tacky on your brush, but if some gets on it, it's not the end of the world. Just remember you should clean it. So that's how you can make it a solid color. But I think the really fun ways are to do marbleization. So to do a marbleized look, just add a lot of color to your palette. So this way you're not getting tacky glue in your watercolor. And then streak it in to your tacky and add it where you want. And that's going to give a more marbleized look. The final way is my favorite way, which is to take a clean brush, add a lot of water to it. Like I said, get it real wet. And then do drips. I love to combine the colors, especially to take two complementary primary colors, and then you'll see where they can overlap. And actually sometimes this happens when you try to go solid and you leave it a while, it ends up sort of re-marbleizing in interesting ways. So if you do want to do the solid way, you probably don't want to leave it for a while like we did here. That's best for smaller stamps because it does actually start to marbleize again and do a veined effect, but which is actually really cool looking. If you don't want to go back and forth and keep cleaning your brush, it can be nice to do a lot of one color first and then switch colors. After things are dry, you can also add details with Sharpie after you've printed. So if I wanted to add an eye or something to my turtle, I could do it right now by using the paint, but that's a bit unpredictable. So once you're done with the print and it's been allowed 24 hours to dry, you can color over and add details with Sharpie. You can see how the glue is actually reacting and resisting the watercolor in places in interesting ways. That's sometimes called the mocha effect when you do it with clay and glazes. And now let's print. Press pretty hard, but if you feel it's starting to squish out the ends, then you don't want to press as much. You'll notice I accidentally didn't quite line it up, so I'm not going to get the end of that tail. It's alright, but it's a good thing to pay attention to when you're putting your paper down. Do a little flip here. And there's my turtle. And actually, I'm going to do a second print from this one because I think he's got a lot of glue on him and I think it could be interesting. If you press less hard, you're going to have less of a smear and your spots and things will show up more. On that first one I pressed a little bit and you could see it moved it, which can be an interesting effect, but if you want less movement, press less hard. There was plenty of glue for a second print from this. And voila! Then when that dries, you can do a watercolor on top of it just like you would any other resist, or you can let it be its own artwork. So this is a turtle that I did with a little less pressing, so the dot showed up more. And this is a turtle that I did with the marbleized effect, the streaked glue effect, and then I watercolored on top. And I'm going to actually do a third print because it looks like there's enough glue. There might not be, but it's always worth it to just go for it, and it helps clean your stamp a little more too. After you print, when you do the marbleizing effect, you may find that your print changes a little still because the glue continues to react with the watercolor. That's natural and it can be interesting to see. And here's what it looks like if you do a watercolor resist on top. I hope you had fun, and if you did, please like and subscribe. Thanks for coming to Creativity Time with Julia Major, and have a colorful day.